Assalamu alaikum dear students, how are you? I hope you all are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. Welcome to NIVS Home School. This is Kamrun, Assistant Teacher of National Ideal English Version School, Day Shift. My dear students of class 5, today I am going to take your Bangladesh and Global Studies class, and our today's topic is Chapter 2, the British Rule. And today we will discuss topic 1 and topic 2, and this is our revision class, and we have discussed this chapter before. Today we will have a review of this chapter. Okay, let's start our class today. And you all know that the British came to India for its wealth, and they came here to trade. And when they came in 100th century, the British established the East India Company, and then they came to India for trading. And on that moment, they came to the subcontinent because this subcontinent was very much rich. It is full of wealth, and the Mughals called the Bengal the paradise of nations, and that's why the British had an eye on this part, on Bengal, and they want to capture Bengal. And the British first came to India in the 17th century for trading. So what happened? There was a battle between the last independent Nawab of Bengal, that means Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla, and the British East India Company. And in this battle, Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla became defeated. And Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla, now you can ask, who is Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla? And we all know that Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowla was the last independent Nawab, and he was the grandson of Nawab Ali-Bardi Khan. And when he was ascended the throne, he was only 22 years old, and that's why he had to face so many problems, and among them he had to face the strong power of the British traders and the Nawab family, that means his aunt Khasiti Begum, and there are some other persons. They are local merchants. He had to face three major opposition, and at first the British traders, and then the Nawab family, and his maternal aunt Khasiti Begum plotted against him, and the local merchant. There was a power greedy local merchant who wants to gain the power, and all of them plotted against the Nawab. And there are another reason to defeat in the battle of Palachi, because the army chief Mir Jafar betrayed against the Nawab in the battlefield, and the battle held on, the battle of Palachi held on 23rd June 1757. This date is very important, all of you will try to remember. So the battle held on 1757 and on 23rd June, and because of this battle, the Bengal handed over to the British rule, and the subcontinent went to the British hand, and the duration of British rule was from 1757 to 1947, that means 190 years, that means almost 200 years, so 2 centuries. So it is a very long time, and the British ruled over the people of the Bengal, and there are some good effects or some bad effects of the British rule. We will know about it, but the company rule, East India Company ruled Bengal for 100 years, that means from 1757 to 1857, because there was a rebel against the East India Company, that it was known as a Sipai Mutiny, which is occurred in 1857, and because of this mutiny, the British government, the British Queen took the rule, took the rule of the whole India in her own hand. And on that moment, Robert Clive was the first governor, and in 1858 the British Queen took the rule of the whole India including Bengal, which continued till 1947. So the British Queen ruled India for another 100 years. So from 1757 to 1947 was the British colonial rule, and the British, because of the British colonial rule, there are some good and bad effects in our country. So at first we will know about the bad effects. We have read it before, but we will go through this again. Now look, the divide and rule policies set caste, religions and nationalities against each other. So when they because of their divide and rule policy, there was a chaos among the people. It says the caste, religions, it divides the people in different sections, and the local economy was so run down that craftsmen were unemployed, farmers became poor and suffered from famous example the Chapter-2 in 1770. So on that moment there was the common people that like the craftsmen or the farmers became too poor, and there was a famine because of the continuous drought, and this is called Chapter-2. And on that moment the British also collect tax, and they day by day they increase the amount of the tax, and they put too much pressure to the common people for giving the tax, and the jamidars become very rich and exploited the poor. So the jamidars, on that moment the common people become poor and the jamidars become rich. And there are also some good effects, because the British established too many schools and colleges to educate the common people, because they wanted to establish a class through which they can set up their rule permanently in this subcontinent. So they wanted to make their government stronger. That's why they set up too many schools and colleges, or they set up universities or printing presses, and because of the printing presses we can publish the newspapers, and people become more educated. They can get they get the opportunities of reading or educating themselves. So what are the good effects? Education was encouraged with new schools, colleges, universities and printing presses. Transport and communications were improved with better roads, railways and telegraph. So on that time during the British rule, the transportation and communication system was also improved, and because of the development of the education and transport or communications, there was a rebirth of the people. It is known as the Bengal Renaissance. Now look, the combination of education and communication produced the Bengal Renaissance of the 19th century, where new ideas and culture developed. So on that moment the people become educated, and they are very much aware of their rights, and they raise their voice against the social prejudices, and they also observe the social customs, and they raise their voice against the British rule also. So it is the good effect of the British rule, and that means because of them the education is developed and the communication system is also developed, and because of these two sections there was a Bengal Renaissance. That means the people become more aware for their rights, for their society, for their country. So dear students, today we will end here. Today we will stop here. That means we will discuss topic 1 and 2, that means page number 14 to 15, and you will go through these two topics from page 14 to 16, and you will do homework, and you will make 8 fill in the blanks from page 14 to 16. So this is your homework, and it is homework number 15, and this is the revision class chapter 2. We have discussed it before. So dear students, all of you will do your homework regularly and submit it on every Sunday within 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So that's all for today. Hope you have understood our today's topic. So dear students, all of you practice a lot and listen to your parents. See you again. Allah Hafiz.